Hello, Discovering Greatness group, team, collective, tribe, community. It seems that we're all here kind of for the same thing. It's this growth. It's this element of inspiration, motivation. Even myself, when I come here, I'm looking for the same. I'm looking to give the same, to receive the same for myself. And so it's awesome that we have this collective group growing, expanding, more people walking in, maybe some people leaving. Kind of the elements of life, right? The ebb and flows. But I was just having this chat with my sister about this topic that kind of goes perfectly along the way the last two videos, from beliefs to understanding our agreements. And I keep talking about the rewriting or the unprogramming or the unwiring of this old way of thinking or believing or speaking or acting that is hindering us from moving forward into our life, into the future self that we want to become. So the idea is that this past version of self, who we associate and identify ourselves with, is hindering or blocking or casting a shadow on this future version of self that we'd like to become because of this belief that we carry and these agreements that we made, which is making our present day life a little bit more harder to manage, a little more unknowing to navigate. It leaves us in this uncertainty or this unknown that doesn't make us feel like we're living aligned or in purpose or moving in the right direction, right? We can feel totally offline, if that makes sense to anyone. And if it doesn't yet, let me continue to go a bit further. So the idea is to become this greater version of self, to discover this greater version of ourselves, we have to uncover our past of what's keeping us not moving into discovering who we're supposed to be, and to recover who we truly want to be right now, to be able to move forward in that discovery. So the question that me and my sister were just chatting about is like we get caught in this timeline mindset of like this linear movement. It's either past or future. We forget to live in the present moment. But I think also with that idea is, if you had to go backwards, right? If you looked at your stage of life, let's say you're in your 30s, your 40s, you'd say, most likely people would say you're in your prime, right? You're in your peak of when you're experiencing life, your knowledge, your experiences, your body physicality, your brain state, how you think and view of the world. You're kind of in your prime zone, maybe 30 to 45. But if you're in your prime zone and you're not living in your greatest version of self, you haven't discovered that true version of self, are you really living in your prime? And if you wanted to move into that prime, would you be willing to go back to an infancy state type of lifestyle? Like, because through life there's 10 stages of the life cycle for any human. From birth, infancy, adolescent to teenager, to young adult, to prime, and then you start to hit your zone of maximization, where you're operating at your highest. Now, a lot of us, when we get to our adult stage, when we start to get to our zone of maximization, our premium state, we're not already living in authenticity. We haven't discovered who we truly want to be. We don't even know what we'd love to do with our life. We're just going through the motions that we've been taught and trained, and the society said we should have, and our parents deemed that is what they expect of us. And so we're not even living as an authentic self. So the idea and this question that came up was, if you had the opportunity to create a huge lifestyle change, but it sent you backwards into your infancy stage, and I don't mean being a baby, I mean going back into the infancy stage of relearning life, relearning who you are, rediscovering how things in the world works, rediscovering what you like and don't like, rediscovering what's good and bad for you specifically, not because your parents or society told you so. Would you be willing to go back to your infancy stage, to go through adolescence, to go through teenager, to go through young adult again, to get to your zone of maximization, to get to your prime state? Me and my sister were having this conversation. My sister realized she's in this state, and I'm in the same state. It's like, holy shit, we have this brand new opportunity to recreate our life, to redesign our life. But we have to understand we're taking 4 steps back to go back to this infancy stage of learning how to use life again for our benefit. And my sister was like, fuck, oh my God. And it's like, it's perspective, right? Would you take the chance to back to your infancy stage, you get to know everything that you have now, but you have to relearn everything. You could relearn an education, you could relearn a skill, you could relearn about your gifts, you could relearn about who you are, you could relearn your friends, you could relearn about where you should be living, you should relearn about your kids. Would you take the time and effort to restart, to recover who you truly are, to discover how great you can become? Or is that too much for you to comprehend? Is that too much to think, oh my God, I'd have to do it all over? Or would you rather keep going in the same cycle of life and living that you're already living, knowing that you're not in your authentic state, and you know that you're not on the right path to discover who you truly are meant to be and who you truly can become? What would your perspective be? What would your lane choice be? I feel that this is almost the exact state where people find that split personality, where they find that midlife crisis. 26% of Americans hit midlife crisis before the age of 40 because they're not living as their authentic self. They've been living as someone else that they thought that they were supposed to be, from their family to their friends to their spouse to their kids to their culture to their government. Would you take the chance to go backwards into infancy at 39 years old, at 43 years old, to relearn everything with all the knowledge you have, all the experience you have, but go relearn a skill, relearn a new gift, relearn about yourself, relearn about people and friends and your culture and your government and your religion and what you believe in? Would you see it as a gift, or would you see it as a detriment? Would you see it as an opportunity, or would you see it as a setback? Would you see it as a limitation, or would you see it as liberation? I think what a gift. What a flipping gift to be able to have the opportunity to go back, uncover all the bullshit, all the beliefs, all the agreements that have been holding you back, retweak, relearn, reheal, rediscover, to recover who you truly are today. Because when you can get rid of and uncover all the bullshit, all the mental clutter can get out of the way, you can discover who you truly want to be. Excuse the wind. When you can do that, you can recover who you truly are right now in the present state, today, to live as your best present self. But you have to be willing to go back into infancy. Go back into the second stage of your 10-stage life cycle and start over. Not, oh fuck, but I have kids, and but I already have a career, and I don't know what I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Stop barfing all over the opportunity that you could have to fucking create a brand new, amazing, rediscover who you truly are, to discover the potential that you have. Or would you rather live to be 80, 75, 70, 90 and look back and go, fuck, I just lived the same life for 80 years. I never took a chance. I never took an opportunity to rewrite, to reprogram, reform, rewire, relearn about myself and all the things I could truly become. Would you see it as a gift, or would you see it as a detriment to who you are? The opportunity to unlearn, to rediscover. Which would you choose?